Hello, thanks for watching this Magical Grunge video. This video is going to be all about music from the spirit world. I will talk about what Layne has told me about music there, and also about music from the spirit world that I've heard in my meditations. I'm also going to touch on music that I've noticed that Layne seems to like from our world. I hope you enjoy it. So, music from the spirit world. What a fun thing to talk about. Very interesting. Okay, so Layne has told me that music in the spirit world would blow your mind. That it's millions of times more intricate and refined than here. There's layers upon layers upon layers, all orchestrated beautifully and perfectly, and it comes in cascading waves. And I guess in certain areas of the spirit world, they can hear this. I don't know what they are, but there's certain parts of the spirit world that it's more prevalent than others. And he said its purpose is spiritual inspiration, kind of like inspirational music or classical music is here for us. It also could be similar to what's been written about the music of the spheres. It could be that as well, or what's been mentioned as that. Okay, and here is a question and answer that I did with him regarding music in the spirit world. So my question to him was, what do you have to say about music in the spirit world versus music on earth? His answer is, music here is fine. It's really beautiful and loving. Still, there is nothing that compares to hearing music through human ears on earth. Don't take that shit for granted. He also has told me that in the spirit world there's lots of singing going on, dancing, celebrating, and also playing music. Past on musicians do play music there. So that sounds like quite a fun party going on musically in the spirit world. So last year, in 2021, that's when Layne came back and started communicating with me again after 12 years of pretty much nothing. And along with that, when I started doing meditations to communicate with him, a new thing started happening, and I started to hear music from their realm. Much like, for those of you that have listened to my video on how he made contact with me, the very first thing he did to get my attention was he put an Alice in Chains song in my head very clearly and very loudly. And this is kind of like that. It's like, it's not an earworm. It's not like you just have a song in your head. It's like I actually hear the music. It feels as if I'm hearing the music, but I'm not actually hearing it with my ears. It's like in my head somehow. But anyways, it's the same type of, phenomena happening. And so I've had a few of these last year. I haven't had any this year so far, as I never know when they're going to happen. They just kind of happen on their own, or I guess when they decide that they want to send a song. So I will describe all the ones that have happened in order. So here we go. So the very first one after the, obviously the one in 2006 with the Alice in Chains song, the next one that I heard was last year, and it was Layne. And I heard him singing a song. And the song, its name was We Love. And he was singing We Love over and over. It was definitely in his way and style. It was really beautiful. It sounded kind of like a mantra. Each time that it was sung, it got stronger, and it sounded very soulful and more in the style of the way he sang in Mad Season. I'm not going to sing it, but I can sort of describe the way it sounded. We was sung shorter, and love was sung in a longer, drawn-out way. Like the way he would do in a lot of his songs, where the last word of a sentence, he would draw it out and make it very soulful. That's the way love was sang. I also, when I heard him singing this, I sensed a lot of other spirits around him singing with him, like other musicians. that we would probably know. And I sensed those guys with him, and they were all singing it with him, and he was leading. And it had sort of like a community feeling. I don't know how to describe it. It was like a little bit like We Are the World, from that video from the 80s. It was like a bunch of spirits together, all singing this song in harmony with each other. And they were singing about how that's what they do now there. It's like that's one of their main things, is to spread love, and it was really cool. And then later, another time, and this is still with Layne, I heard him singing another song, and unfortunately I couldn't catch any words to it or anything like that, but I do remember he was singing in it, and the music sounded very similar to Man in the Box, but it was a little different. So unfortunately I can't remember that. Sometimes that happens, like a song will come and it just sort of flits by and in my mind, and I can't capture it quick enough, and then it's gone. It's much like a dream, All right, the next song I heard, and these are, weeks between, months between sometimes, but these are just in chronological order. The next song I heard, I got the title of it, and the title was called Through Your Veins. And it was a really mellow song. It was not Layne singing it. Who I think it was? I think it was Glenn Frey from the Eagles, because it sounded like him, and the actual music sounded much like a slow Eagles song. But here's where it gets really strange and interesting and cool. It's like it was a slow, so on one hand it sounds like a slower Eagles song sung by Glenn Frey, but then it's got this undercurrent of Purple Rain by Prince in it. So it was like sung to this tune of Purple Rain, the chorus, but it was slowed down. And I heard the song for a long time. I actually stayed with it, and I could hear most of the song. And it was a very interesting mashup of those two, because it was kind of like it went like, how Purple Rain now, he's saying like Purple Rain, like kind of slow like that. This song was called Through Your Veins, and he was saying through your veins, through your veins. It was totally Purple Rain, but it was different lyrics. It was very interesting, and I didn't really hear any other lyrics besides the Through Your Veins, but it was very interesting. I get the feeling that Layne is friends with or something with Glenn Frey and Prince over there. All right, the next one was kind of a 2-for-1. Beatles fans will like this one. I heard a song, and it told me, the information of the song told me that it was John Lennon and George Harrison both sending this song. And the song was called Love Is What You Are. And it was done in a kind of a kirtan style, which is a sort of a Middle Eastern devotional type of music. The song Give Peace a Chance, the John Lennon song, where they're all kind of in bed, and it's this big, long, ongoing song where they're kind of just saying the same thing over and over. That's the style that this song was in. And it was called Love Is What You Are. And I heard that one really clearly. I can remember that song like I heard it on the radio or something. I'll go ahead and just sort of sing it, because I'm not a singer at all, but you can't see me, so why not? But it went like this, like, imagine all these people sitting around in a room, and they're kind of clapping, and they have drums, like hand drums and stuff, and it went like they were all singing together, and those two were leading, and it went, love is what you are, 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 like that, okay? And that just kept repeating. That was the entire song. But imagine that building, and each time they sing that, it gets more and more, and like everybody gets more into it, and pretty soon everybody's raising the roof on this song. But it was really positive, it was really upbeat and happy, And it's cool. And so that was a really, really cool one that came through. So John Lennon, George Harrison, that's their song. All right. The last song that I heard from the spirit world is very cool. It's very short, what I heard, but the story that goes along with it is amazing. So, this is from my other guide, my first guide, who I will just refer to as RR. And I heard instrumental music being played. It sounded as like acoustic guitar. And I don't know if there was flute there too, but there were some other instruments. But it was sort of like a little session that musicians were playing in. And there was someone singing. There was a guy singing. I don't know who it was. It was definitely not Layne and not anybody that I recognized at all. So there was definitely a guy singing Scarborough Fair by Simon and Garfunkel, but I have no idea who it was. So I heard that and I was like, cool. And I did ask someone connected with my guide if that song meant anything to them, because this is the first song I ever heard from him. The other ones were all like on their own or they were connected with Layne, and this was the first one that came from my other guide. So anyways, I asked this person, hey, does Scarborough Fair mean anything to you? I heard this and I know it's connected to him. They didn't say that it meant anything to them. So there was nothing, for them. It wasn't for them. So I was pretty puzzled by it. I was like, okay, well, there must be a reason why this song came through, but I didn't understand why. So later, a few months go by, and I get connected up with somebody that I was chatting with that I didn't know very well, and they had a connection. They had done a major project involving RR. And I start chatting with them, and I just get the urge. Now I know probably who gave me this urge, but I get this urge to ask this person, what other songs do you like? I got the urge to just ask them about music, and like to ask them, what are some of your favorite songs just in general? So we get to chatting about that, and all of a sudden they write to me and they say, one of my favorite songs ever is Scarborough Fair. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I got goosebumps. And then I remembered and I said, I heard the song like a couple of months ago. I heard the song in a meditation and it was definitely from him. And I couldn't understand it. And so I told him the whole story of it, and he was really happy about it and everything. And to me, it was just, wow. It was like really so cool. And I know that this was the Spirit's way of sending this person a message because of the project that they were involved with regarding them. And it's really, really cool. It was just, to me, it was very amazing confirmation. So that was a really, really neat story regarding the music coming through from there. I've also had a few songs just come to me from them too that are just their way of sending me songs, but they're not quite the same. But this can sometimes be very, very subtle. I just get a little snippet of something, but then as long as I can latch onto it and understand what it is, it means a lot after I figure it out. Those are all the songs that have come. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about some other things. Layne has told me that there's always lots of musical collaborations going on in the spirit world. So the cliche of all the musicians are up there jamming together in heaven, it's actually kind of true. I heard this myself when with the Eagles and Prince mashup song that I was talking about earlier that Glenn Frey was singing. It seems like what the deal is with the musicians when they, they're up, no, I shouldn't say up, but when they are in the spirit world, like they can still play music in their own style and everything, and their own sound, and they can sing in their own way and all that, but the lyrics are what are different, and the lyrics all seem to reflect spiritual and love-based themes of the spirit world, and they're kind of like glorifying or something the way they are there in the spirit world. So they reflect that. So that's kind of interesting that they let them, at least they let them have their own style, and at least they're not making them all sing a bunch of church songs, right? Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is just some little musical things that I've noticed with Layne with music that he likes. Okay, one of the first things he did when he, came back and started communicating with me again last spring is I was on Spotify one day and I was looking at different albums and stuff, and I kept feeling this thing about Queensryche, the band Queensryche, and I couldn't quite, I was like, okay. And then he popped in one day and he directly told me, he was directing me to the Rage for Order album from Queensryche, and he asked me, he said, please listen to this album. I want you to listen to this. I mean, I've heard it before because I liked it back in the day when it came out, or, a few years after it came out, but I hadn't heard it in a long time. And he was just like insisting, like, please listen to this. Cause like when he comes close to me, when I channel him, he can hear what I hear through headphones or whatever. He can hear what I hear through my ears. And so he asked me to listen to that album, and I did. And it was so cute. He just was so loving it. I mean, I could feel the energy off of him. And as he was listening to that, or as we were listening to that album, I just felt the coolest feeling. Like it felt like an elated feeling. I felt his elation, and it felt like angels were singing, like he was singing like an angel, so blissed out and happy as I was listening to that album. So it's safe to say that Layne likes that album. The other things that he's indicated to me that he kind of likes, or that he likes, is he likes the band Evanescence. He likes the music, or at least Fallen, as I have that album. He seems to dig that. And he also really likes the band Ghost. And I was watching the Square Hammer video back, when this happened, and he loved it. I could just tell he thought it was so cool because it's all horror movie style, and a lot of their videos are very horror movie style, and it's got real cool effects in it, and it's all like green, kind of like the color of the grind. Not grind. I'm sorry. It's green like the Tripod album. And I just got from him, he just thought that he thinks that Ghost is a super, super cool. He likes the way they look. He likes the music because it's kind of Sabbathy, and he just seems to really dig them. So it's cool I think it's fascinating to, see like the things that he lets me know, that like the current music that's out now that he likes, or that if he hadn't have passed on like the music that he would probably like now. So anyways, that's about it for this video, I guess. I haven't really gotten anything. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten any of these musical things lately. I do ask, and I say, please, I would like to hear more music because this is a really cool thing. But they do it when they decide to do it. I'm not really in charge of it. So hopefully I will get more in the future, and then I have enough built up to make another video about future songs that I hear. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe if you would like to. And until the next video, I should be making some more. I've got some other subjects I'd like to do, so hopefully it won't be too long before you see another video. Thanks a lot, and bye.